Welcome to the Ultimate Soccer Show one more time, guys. If you've been here before, you know what to do. Give us some love. Pay for your ticket kind of thing as you're going in the ground. Just give us a like. And give us a like as you seem that we've earned it. Don't just give us it. But you know what? Remember, the channel needs the love. And hey, subscribe as well if you will. Moving on, the important stuff. And that is important. But moving on, we've got a big game coming up. And a pre-game, Shrewsbury Town taking on WREXHAM AFC, third round FA Cup, and it's coming off at Shrewsbury. Yes. So it's going to be an interesting game. For the benefit of the worldwide Wrexham fans and the worldwide Shrewsbury fans, because you can't tell me there are not Shrewsbury fans around this dotted little planet, the blue planet. There's got to be some Shrewsbury fans around the world. If you're a Shrewsbury fan, give us a shout down below. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification button anytime you can, but drop a comment down below. If you're a Shrews fan, down below, please. And if you are a Red Dragons fan, you know what to do. You've seen this face before, I'm sure. Down below, guys, drop us a line. Give us some love, like, subscribe. You know what to do, and get into this. What we got on this one is a lot of good stuff. We've worked hard for this one. We've worked hard, and we love bringing it because of you. Seriously, you're the reason why we do this. So remember, on this one, we're touching a few things. But before we go anywhere, we're going to say hello to people around the world. This is for you. When we come back, we'll talk about things like the FA Cup of the past, who's got it, where it comes from, how it happened last year, a little bit of information that you might have forgotten. Then we're going to get to the meat and the veg. Shrewsbury, Wrexham, stats, stories, news, but it'll set you up, really set you up for the game. And once you've gone through this, once you've gone through that, I'll finish off with my prediction, as I always do, where I feel this one's going and why. So hang around, enjoy, but for the benefit of people who are football fans, soccer fans, worldwide, wherever you are, this is for the benefit of the Wrexham and the Shrewsbury fans worldwide. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, looking down from people all around the world, for Wrexham fans worldwide, this is for you, and even Shrewsbury fans worldwide, this is for you. Looking down, red spot, blue spot, red spot Wrexham, blue spot Shrewsbury Town. There's a lay of the land. From Wrexham to Shrewsbury, if you're going to go by road, you've got three choices. I think you've only really got one A5, but hey, you never know. But you don't have more than one choice if you're going to go by train. 30 minutes on the train, and shortly after that you'll arrive at the Crowd Meadow. Looking on the inside, lovely, lovely, lovely. Now that looks like a nice field to play on. I think we'll be okay with that. Putting my spin on it, it's the FA Cup. And it's a big game for Shrewsbury, and a big game for Wrexham. So welcome to the pre-game news, stats, and opinion. Let's get into this. And remember, please, it's like paying your ticket into the ground. And please support the channel by subscribing. Let's get into this right now. So there you go, people far and wide. Let me know where you're from. Remember, there's Shrewsbury fans and Wrexham fans, football fans all over the world. But those two teams I just mentioned, you've got to be out there somewhere. Are there any in Malaysia? Are there any in Canada? Are there any in Japan? Where are you, Shrewsbury fans? Where are you, Wrexham fans? Let us know down below. It's that simple. Now, moving along, the FA Cup last year, did you remember who won it? I'll let you know in a second. We've got about a minute's reel here. You're going to love this one. Lots of good information, some real cool information, actually, and it'll really set you up to ask you one big question at the end of it. You'll hear about that at the end. Enjoy. I'll see you in a minute. And just recapping, last year's FA Cup final was between, as you know, or if you'd forgotten, it was Manchester City taking on Man United. The only time that there has ever been a Manchester derby at the FA Cup final. First half starts well for Man City, 1-0 in after 1 minute. United tied up 33 minutes in through Fernandes on the penalty spot, and at half-time it's one apiece. But you always knew and you always felt that Manchester City were going to win this game because, let's face it, Manchester United of today in the last 9 years is not Manchester United of the Sir Alex reign. Just go with that. Man City win a brilliant final though on the day. Like I say, 2-1 on the day, and it was that man Erdogan, who's now with Barcelona. If you're talking about FA Cup finals, just between these two teams, and not in the final, but how they've rated over the time, Man City's won 7, lost 5. Man United's won 12, lost 9, which means City's been in 12 finals, United's been in 21. And take a look at last year's champions. Do you think they're going to defend it again? I say they got a damn good chance. Back on screen. So there you go, Manchester City doing the dirty on Man United. But come on, it was pretty obvious that who was going to win that finally, yeah? I mean, like I say, Man United have been literally, their form, Man United, over 9 years, is literally like if you dropped a rock tied to a bigger rock in the ocean. That's how fast Man United has gone down. Boom. Anyway, moving along. But the FA Cup, like I say, yeah, Man City are still your champions. And the question was, are they going to win it this year again? I'd tell you what, if I was a betting man, which I am, I'd put money on Man City going far in this competition because when it matters, Man City really do nail it down. Look at what happened recently with Man City when they went to the World Club Championship before they won it. Big FIFA Club champions. Woo, beautiful. They were a little bit behind everybody. Look at now in the championship, the English Premier League standings, they're right in there. And watch them get right in there. And I'd love to see a duke-off between Liverpool and Man City running off. But I've no disrespect. I'd love to see Villa stick in there too. But staying with the FA Cup, because this is what it's all about, right? Yes, we got some mega stats coming up from Shrewsbury's angle and from Wrexham's angle. And I'm right down the middle. Right down the middle. You would barely notice that I am biased or partisan to one of these teams. That's how down the middle I've gone with this. So I hope you enjoy it. This is a little longer, but there's a lot more good stuff in there. There's a lot of great information, lots of great stats. And along the way, I'll be dropping some stories in there. It's about 6 minutes long, so if you don't like that, push on 6 minutes, and I'll be back on screen. But this is some real good information about the Shrews and the Red Dragons as we line up to the FA Cup third round game coming off on Sunday. Enjoy. I'll be back in 6 minutes. Okay, guys, as I say quite frequently, stats tell you a story. The next 6 images, 3 of which are Shrewsbury Town statistics and 3 of which are Wrexham AFC statistics, 3 for each. You'll see over the next 6 images, a couple of minutes, where this story's going, and you'll have more information and more ammunition about this game than you did before. So getting into this straight away, at the end of it, I'll be coming out of this, giving you my prediction and talking about the game, what I'm expecting, and you'll see the prediction in its beautiful colours as per usual. But looking at slide 1, we're going for Shrewsbury Town as the home team first, obviously, sitting 13th in League 1. That's a decent position to be in. League 1's a tough league, don't kid yourself. If you wanted to know, they're 7 points out of relegation and literally 13 points out of a promotion spot. Everything to play for. It's not a terrible season, but the form of late has been pretty rough. 4 losses and 1 win. You can see the scores up above. You can see where they're standing in the table. You can see the home and away form and also the FA Cup form. Now, that's interesting as well. Man, that is interesting. Wrexham fans, Notts County were the last people to lose to Shrewsbury. Yeah, you know a lot about Notts County, don't you guys? So, are Wrexham going to fall to Shrewsbury? At Shrewsbury. It could happen. It could happen. It's definitely on the cards. If you're a Shrewsbury fan, you're thinking that way. And if you're a Wrexham fan, you're thinking probably not so. Now, moving to the other side of this equation, there's your Shrewsbury to start off. We'll take a look at now at the Wrexham as well to keep you going and keep you informed. But there's Wrexham to kick it off. Last 5, 4 wins and a loss. Pretty decent. Third in League 2. Looking damn good. If you look at the last 3 years, this is for the benefit of Shrewsbury fans now. If you look at the benefit of the last 3 years, Wrexham, on average, have only been in 1, 2, or 3 positions in any league situation, what they've been in over the last 3 years. So looking at that, Wrexham's used to riding high, has confidence throughout. It's confidence that you need to go to Shrewsbury and get a result. But looking at the stats there, you can see the league and the FA Cup stats for Wrexham. And you can say so far, it's pretty decent. Last round, Yeovil 3-0. Before that, Mansfield Town, and that was difficult. Brian Clough's the coach there. He does a fantastic job too. But Mansfield Town and Yeovil, 2 toughies. Next up, it's Shrewsbury on the road. And you can also see over in the league standings as well how Wrexham's doing at the moment. But one thing about Wrexham is the goal-scoring situation. It's always very good. Look at the top, 1.96 on the points per game. That's excellent form. Look at the goals scored, excellent. And look at goals conceded, average. So literally firing pretty good. Phil Parkinson's got them going very nicely indeed. Now let's have a look at goals scored, goals conceding. Again, starting with Shrewsbury Town. Doesn't take the brains of an archbishop to plough through this one, guys. Goals over 90 minutes scored. Goals over 90 minutes conceded. 1 point I'm going to bring out to you is the big 0 for Shrewsbury Town on goals conceded. 0 to 10 minutes in. That normally would give you a massive, massive kickoff to a game. And if you look above, it's 12% on goals too. And you'd think maybe with those starting points, you'd be doing well. Doesn't pan out though. And over the season, they haven't scored many goals, as you see, but they finish strong in front of net, but they also cough up as well. Looking at the top scorers just while we're here. Shane Dunkley, Daniel Odo, Tom Bayliss, Terry Paler, Jordan Shipley. Not many people banging them in like they are with Wrexham, and that might well be where this game is decided. Looks on shots on target, 3.8 per match, 4.8 off target per match. Now, the same sort of situation. Let's take a look now at what Wrexham's all about with their stats in the same game now. Goals scored over 90 minutes and goals conceded over 90 minutes. If you look at those colours straight on and the percentages, Wrexham's got an even flow of goals all the way through 10 to 80 minutes or 0 to 80 minutes, and they do get quite a few early goals. Remember I just said Shrewsbury doesn't give up early goals? Maybe this is a game that it happens, but you've got to consider they finish strong, Wrexham, as well. 23% goals banging in. And goals conceded, however, is also becoming a little bit of an issue too. So both teams have, I would say, fast and slow finishing paces, fast up front and deadly slow at the back. But it's the way this game could kick off for Wrexham there. Looking at the top scorers, though, Elliot Lee, Paul Mullin. Hasn't taken long for Paul Mullin to get over that lung injury and start banging the goals. And Stevie Fletcher recently a hat-trick. Fantastic. Ollie Palmer still sitting on 5. And there's average scoring throughout the team. So Wrexham's definitely a team that's buoyant enough to get on the end of things and to hit the back of the net too. So look for Wrexham to come into this game, maybe moving into it casually, slowly, taking the ball, making the play game. We'll talk about this pretty soon, but look at Wrexham to come in with an air of confidence. Moving on now, the next one we're talking about, Shrewsbury Town here. Most assists, you can see it straight in front of you. You can see the most appearances as well and the most cards. More information for you there too, yeah? As well, you got to say, look at the wins, the draws and the losses. At home, 54% win ratio. That's not bad. If you add in the draws, that's 62% win ratio, not loss ratio at home, but they got a 38% loss ratio at home. That's pretty high. When you consider that Wrexham's sitting 3rd in League 2 and Shrewsbury sitting 13th in League 1, I'd say those teams are pretty even right now. It may well be a nail-biting game for both teams in this game, but if you look at the away, well, that's the reason why it's not really been a good day so far this season for Shrewsbury Town at all. Again, now moving over with Wrexham, you can see the most assists, most appearances, most cards, and then your wins, draws, and losses again on the road. Not so bad numbers, not so bad at home. Absolutely phenomenal. 77% win ratio, but on the road, 33% win ratio. Very close, very close to the loss ratio of Shrewsbury Town. So looking at what we look at, that's what I'm seeing. But the one thing I want to leave you with is the defence stats. It's definitely a game where I think the defence is going to ride this game. I definitely see Wrexham on the board. I don't think you can hold Wrexham off the board at all. Not with the firepower, not with the confidence they got coming through. But we'll talk more about this game moving through. But don't rule out Shrewsbury pulling a win here. They are the home team. You can't disrespect the Shrews, not right now. And they've hit great form. They've recently got a win, 3-1 recently, and obviously they lost 4 prior to that. But we'll talk more about it. But now you know more about Shrewsbury and Wrexham. Let's get back on screen right now. So I hope you enjoyed that. A lot of deep, intense work went into producing that for you because that's what we love to do. Seriously, it gives us a lot of fun to do this. So lots of good stats. It tells a story, and all those stats really did tell a story. I hope you got the benefit of where I was trying to lead you with that, because what I'm saying at the end of the day is it's going to be a very, very even game. You could say that 13th in League One and 3rd in League 2 are pretty much the same kind of level, because one's riding literally not finding that magical form, and one team has that magical form. And when you look at what wins games, goals, and you see what Wrexham's coming in with, and their forwards are hitting form right now, and Shrewsbury don't score too many, and home form is really the strong point. If there's a strong point for Shrewsbury on this season so far, it's the 54% home win ratio. If anything's going to get it over the line, it's that. And also the recent 3-1 win, the last game, 3-1 against Fleetwood, that's going to give a big shot in the arm to Shrewsbury as well. So Shrewsbury might now be ready to take on Wrexham and be able to do themselves justice. The fans are going to get right behind them, and Wrexham fans are going to be up there making a lot of noise too. But right now, I'd say Shrewsbury's in a better situation to take on Wrexham than they were probably 5 games ago. But don't forget this. They don't score many, but they don't give up many. Shrewsbury Town is not a bad team. They're just a team that's not found the form yet. They've not found the feet yet. They haven't found the rhythm. It's on and off. It's hot and cold. And Shrewsbury fans will tell you that. But when you look at the defensive record recently, they don't get piled on. It's 1 goal here, it's 2 goals there. But they're very, very defensively sound, okay? So if they hit the ground running on Sunday, and they do get them early goals, or they do get that late goal, it'll be because of the work rate that they do, and they keep it tight at the back. Now, with Wrexham, it's a different story. But listen, before I get to the story, I'll give you my prediction first, and why after talking about Wrexham. Here's my prediction. You may well think, Steve, what are you talking about? You just talked highly about Shrewsbury and the home record and, 54% yada yada, and that they're going to win. They possibly will. You'd be correct with that. But what I would say is I argue, or I would ask you to consider that the recent form that Wrexham's been on is not just now. They've had 3 years of decent form. They've had 3 years where they've been grooming this team to a higher level. They don't play like a League Two team. Don't kid yourself for a minute. And yes, they do lose once in a blue moon, as of recently. 3-1. But they bounce back with a 3-1 win straight away. This team is, in my opinion, destined to bigger and brighter days. And the reason why is not just the coach, but who's doing a fantastic job, Phil Parkinson, but also what's in behind the coach as well. The destiny of this team is doomed and deemed for bigger things. And I don't think you could ask for anything more from an ownership group as what they've got right now. I've seen in the last couple of years the way Wrexham has changed, not only on the field, but as a club off the field, as a club absolutely doing great business, dragging in massive advertisements, massive sponsorships, changing the ground. They're literally changing the face of the club. When you see that kind of action coming your way, or maybe it makes you realize that Wrexham is a big club moving from a smaller division, getting to a bigger destination. And like I say, I think that the destiny is big for Wrexham moving forward. On this game, I say it's probably a 2-1 win. And that's recently with the form of both teams. And also when you add up who can score and who can't score and who's got the hottest forwards between these two teams. And right down the middle, I've said from the start, this could go either way. And you would surely put your money on Shrewsbury Town in League One winning this game. That would be the smart bet. Something tells me that Wrexham's not the team just turning up to make up the numbers. And what I've said with the stats and the stories and the things I've said coming through, when you look at what wins games, it's goals. And I somehow feel that if Wrexham hit the ground running, they are the team to possibly win this game 2-1. If it goes the other way, I see it going 2-0. We'll have to see what happens on Sunday. But a few things as we check out. The live feeds that I talked about and promised you about recently, the live feeds are coming. And we got all the remotes. If you don't know what a remote is, it's a live feed when we're on location. All those live locations when we're going to go to the Canadian Premier League games this season coming up, all of that is in place. So we're going to be live at the games. We're going to drop live feeds, and we're going to do some cheeky things at the game too. We're going to get right close to the players. The club doesn't know this, but we're going to. We're going to get right close to the players, right up to the touchline, and we're going to start filming stuff that we probably shouldn't, but we'll be all over the field. That's the field. And hey, that's the Canadian Premier League, and that's the camera there. one of the cameras, but we're going to be all over the field. So the live on the locations is set up. The live on the studios is coming. So be a bit patient with that one. We're still working on a few things. We've got some technicians working on it for you. And like I say, this game coming up on Sunday, it's going to be a big one. If you're a Shrews fan, down below, let us know what you think, which way it's going to go. Tell us what your thoughts are on the game and how worried or how confident you are about the win. Wrexham fans as well, you must well be thinking, well, this is a great day on the road, remembering Coventry last year and having a great time and the rest of it. Is this another big game coming up for Wrexham on the road? Wrexham fans, down below, let me know. And remember to help this channel and to shoot YouTube a big slap in the head, please like it, subscribe it, and hit that notification button. And they'll start sending us more viewers because we're not stopping. This is all about football. It's all about you and the family. So join us. Hit the subscription button and hit it today and get ready for that game because I tell you what, I'm really looking forward to it. I've got a load of things I could look at in the third round. This is the only game I'm interested in. We'll see who we get after this. But the winner of this game is the team we're going to follow into the next round. And from there on in, whichever team wins that we're covering, so Shrewsbury, Wrexham, you're starting this off from round 3. Whichever team wins, we cover that team in the next round. And whoever wins then, we cover them rounds. And we go all the way to the final. So if you want to stick with me for the FA Cup final and all the way through it, and I'm going to be doing a live FA Cup watch-along, then stick with me all the way through the FA Cup. I'd love you to be there. And remember, like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Get ready for the game on Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff, GMT, and let yourself go. And if you do not like the commentary that you hear, do what I do. Switch on some Pink Floyd or some good rock music or the music that stimulates your mind and watch football that way, because I've heard a lot of people complaining about the crappy or the commentary that's not really in their eyes and in their ears that they want to hear and see. Put on the music. Make yourself happy. I watch football with music all the time. It's absolutely stunning. Anyway, get ready for Sunday. I can't wait. It's going to be a big, big game. I'm going to enjoy every second of it. After that, you never know what's coming next. But hey, get into it, enjoy it, and hey, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. Cheers.